What's your biggest takeaway from the preseason? What did you kind of learn?
I learned a lot of things. Really, just kind of how to execute my assignment better versus another opponent, and really just kind of harping on my skills going forward. Going into the regular season, things I need to work on. So it's a lot of different nuances of the game.
Was there anything that you did in college that you tried and you think it can still work here, or maybe vice versa, things you did in college that you could tell aren't going to work here?
Yeah, I mean, I had some great coaches at my time in Texas who had experience in the league and played in the league. So a lot of what they told me is very relatable to the league as far as elements of running the ball, how to evade defenders, and just get extra yards off of contact, things of that nature. So I mean, there's a lot of different things that they've taught me that have translated. But I mean, as far as things that haven't translated, I really couldn't tell you exactly like what, but I mean, it's a different ball game mentally. So I think there's certain things that you have to do at the pro level that you can't really get away with here as opposed to college.
What do you know about the NFL that you didn't know at the start of training camp?
I mean, a lot of stuff like I knew, but I mean, obviously with it being a business, there's a lot of different faces that you can see, and then a lot that you won't see. So I mean, there's a lot of people coming in and out. But I mean, I knew that, but it's different when you actually see it in person. So.
You talked about it being a different ball game mentally. What are the biggest differences there?
I would just say the depth of the playbook, and the multitude of things you can do within one play. And then on top of that, I would just say just the little details of it, of each play. I feel like it's more amplified, and ultimately that's what kind of separates, the good teams versus the great teams in the league. Just those little details that the teams can execute at a high level.
Yeah, where's your head at going into tomorrow? Obviously, you're a high draft pick, so you're probably not feeling the same anxieties that some guys who are just trying to make the roster. But going through training camp, the whole process now, you're about to enter week 1 prep. Where are you mentally?
Mentally, I'm good. Either way, whatever happens, I got God on my side. Only thing, he's the only one that knows what's going to happen. Right now, I'm just keeping a positive energy, go in, do my job, do everything I was supposed to do.
Zach, what was your favorite play of the preseason of your own?
I guess my sack, since that was my first one, I kind of kicked it off. That was my favorite moment, and it was in a Soldier Field, so that was my favorite memory.
What have you been able to learn through those 3 games, and in terms of things that'll help you get ready for 2 weeks from yesterday?
That I belong here. Everything that I seen, everything the coaches showed me that I belong here. I had a few doubts about myself a little bit because I didn't know what was going to happen, but my confidence really just stuck out and had my back the whole way.
When did you think you first got confident if you had doubts coming in? What was it that?
When I first came in for practice, I was like, oh man, I don't know, because I was a little rusty and I was afraid that I wasn't meeting my expectations. So that's why I was like a little nervous, but all that went away after I kept on practicing.
Do you mean training camp, or do you mean like rookie mini camp?
Rookie mini camp, training camp, everything. So my confidence started going up after each practice.
What was the moment where you kind of exhaled and were like, okay, I'm good, I belong here, I don't have to worry about this anymore?
Our first game, I felt like I was doing a lot of stuff better than I was in practice. I started recognizing stuff quicker than what I was doing, and I just started going off that.
Is there a difference for you just getting on the field and playing versus practicing in terms of maybe overthinking things or feeling more comfortable? Like, what is that difference between like that first game versus all the practices?
I guess you kind of know what's going to happen in the games because we We break it down. We show what they're gonna run with their top runs. In practice, it's a free game, so it's like they can do whatever they want. So that's kind of like the difference to me.
You guys have played next to each other a lot in these preseason games.
Uh-huh.
How has that helped you?
Nah, that's been helping me a lot. Whatever I get knocked back, he right there to clean it up, or vice versa. So we kind of trying to be like the duo. Don't tell everybody because we are the duo.
Your secret's safe with me.
Thank
and
you.
Everybody else who's listening right now.
Y'all didn't hear that.
Where did Billings and or Justin Jones help you the most? Especially as guys who you could be taking their snaps by week whatever. You know what I mean? What did they do, or what kind of advice they give you, or how did they help you the most? Either one.
When I was playing 3, Jay Jones was just giving me little pointers here and there to get off the ball quicker. Then I moved down to nose, and Billings been giving me pointers left and right. What I'm recognizing, what he recognizing, we both been helping each other out a little bit, but he really been helping me out the most. To read my keys, see what I'm seeing, if it comes to me that I could play back, not back, and just a feel of everything. So he kind of really slowed the game down for me, Billings.
You talked about you two growing as a duo, and I know we're not supposed to talk about it, but just among us, do you guys talk about like, hey, we could be a future cornerstone in the middle of this defensive line if we mind our P's and Q's, grow together, like this could be the beginning of something special?
Oh, yes, sir. We definitely do that. We celebrate, we dap each other up every time we're about to go on the field. We give each other confidence, and that's one thing I always wanted. And if you believe it, he believe it, we're gonna be all right. And I feel like if we play our cards right, can't nobody stop us.
Gervon, I think it was like a week ago that we saw you working on the side with Unique, and he told us it was just, combo moves. You can't just stab club guys anymore in the NFL. What have you learned specifically from him that you can apply to your interior pass rush moves?
Just he has a bag. A lot of people think he just has a cross chop move. He has a lot of different moves, a lot of different counters, and just watching him, the way he practices and the way he watches film, just all the little things that he do that he takes into his game. That's one of the biggest things I've learned, and just how smooth he is and how patient he is when he's rushing, and how precise he is with his hands.
How much of like the hand-eye coordination is part of like perfecting that pass rush move?
Yeah, it's huge. I think you can't just come off the ball and throw a move to someone who's not giving you hands, or different types of like you can get a jump setter and you can't just do a cross chop. It's just different moves and different timing of when you gotta do those moves.
Gervon, same question as Zacch. What's your favorite play for you the preseason?
I'd definitely say my favorite play was Big Zacch and T-Bell sack. Just being able to see those guys, coming in with those guys and seeing them get that was huge. So,
What about one of your plays?
one of mine, probably this week, the pat down. I should have probably picked it off, but I would say that was one of my favorite plays.
When you came in, you were drafted with, you had high hopes the night you were drafted here. What happened, if anything, over the training camp preseason that kind of gave you a better indication just how good you can be in this league?
Just me seeing my get off and how quickly I fixed it, and even with some moves that I learned, and being able to win some of those one-on-ones, and just seeing myself grow and get better.
I've heard both of you guys allude to Travis Bell, whether today or in the locker room at times. Is he a guy that like you guys root for because he's a little bit later of a pick than?
No, it doesn't matter when he was picked. I think he's just a good guy, and when he came in with us, we grew closer with him, and he's just a guy. I think us seeing how hard he works is one of the biggest reasons on why I root for him.
You guys obviously have the size, both of you have the size advantage over a smaller interior tackle. What can somebody like that do though? How can somebody use what they don't have almost to their advantage in ways that, could help them?
You mean as far as Travis? I mean, he is a dog. So when you got that type of mentality, It don't matter. The size don't really matter at all. If you the want to not be blocked and stuff like that, I don't think size don't matter at all.
Did you have a moment like kind of like Zacch was talking about when you over the last few weeks or months or whatever when you felt like you realized you belonged here?
I think my mentality always was to prove people wrong since I got here. So I definitely had a couple moments where I realized, yeah, I can play in this league and do well in this league. So.
What do you mean you had to prove people wrong? Did you sense a lot of doubt?
Yeah, I went second round, so yeah, that was enough for me to show people.
Should have been first round.
Yeah, sure.
How different of a player are you even now to what you were in college?
Oh yeah, completely opposite player now. I mean, like getting off the ball, playing vertical, and learning how to do some of those things. Even my rush ability has turned a whole different level. So.
Like lean on athletic ability more in college? It just seems like that's a natural thing, and then you come up here and you realize it takes more than that. Have you come to that kind of realization?
Right. Yeah. Of course. I think like a guy like me, where I can win some one-on-ones just with my God given. But now there's guys who's just as big and just as strong. So it's technique versus technique. So you got to have that good technique.
Anything in particular technique wise, even if it's a little thing that just makes a big difference?
Yeah, pad level, hands, inside hands. It's a lot of little things that you gotta have to win here.
Against the Bills, we saw you and Zacch both playing the 3 tech at the same time at times. When you're both doing that, what does that do for you specifically?
It gives one of us the one-on-one. Somebody has to get the slide when you have 2-3 techniques and two bigger 3 techniques who can penetrate. So somebody has to get the one-on-one. Someone has to get the slide. So it opens up, and I think each time you'll see a different person getting that one-on-one, or each person getting the slide. So.